Welcome to Sinful's Horror Stories. If you're new to my channel, please make sure to subscribe now for future horrifying content. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you for all the comments and the supports each and every video. If you guys want to have your story featured on this channel, email my email in the description box below at the end. Until we meet again, enjoy the stories and stay sinful. For those of you who frequent this sub, the fight or flight response is one that is discussed frequently. Later, this term was updated to fight, flight, or freeze to better encompass a range of human responses to acute stress. Luckily for me, I've never been a freezer. However, that doesn't mean I always choose one of the other two responses either. Instead, when I'm under stress, my brain goes into overdrive, rapidly throwing up possible solutions to a current problem. The more stressed I am, the faster it ticks. In my first post on this sub, I told of a creepy encounter where I chose flight. In the second, I chose fight. This is a story of when my brain decided on a different direction. It was the early evening in the late 2000s. I was in college, walking home from class along a busy street in the crappy neighborhood that was all I could afford to live in at the time. Out of nowhere, a car pulls up right next to me and slams on the brakes. "Get in the car," the driver yells out of the window at me, immediately aggressive. What? I take in the scene. Old, small, beat-up red car, 4 passengers, all guys, relatively fit. I'm badly outnumbered. This is not good. The 2 up front are leaning forward in their seats staring at me, agitated, most likely on something. Can't see much of the guys in the back except that they're crammed in there. The front 2 are not wearing seatbelts. Really not good. On top of that, despite other people being around, I'm in a neighborhood in a city where people don't stop to help, don't call the cops, don't get involved when they witness violence or crimes. No one walking past has slowed down or even turned our way. Really not good. In the couple seconds it takes me to soak this in, the driver decides to fill the silence. "Get in the fucking car. I said get in the car now. We're going to a party and you're coming with us," even more aggressively than before. Oh boy. There goes my brain. Tick, 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 tick. This tone, this manner, this guy is expecting me to refuse. He's expecting me to get bitchy. It's like he was just waiting for me to escalate the interaction. This was before I was active online. I'd never heard of incels or MRAs or any of that stuff, but this guy is acting like a guy who is sick of girls refusing his advances. He's had enough. And this time he is going to put his foot down. My brain is throwing up every possible response I can make, playing out the most likely outcome, and knocking them back down one by one. Finally, it lands. Though I would not know what it was called until many years later, I just discovered fawn mode. My face cracks into a huge smile. Oh my god, that sounds like so much fun. Suddenly I drop the smile to a look of devastation. Oh no, but I can't today. I've got dinner with my family. This sucks so much. I would so rather go to the party, but thanks for inviting me. I started slowly walking up the street, not breaking eye contact, smiling and waving, but trying to close the distance. I'd have to dash if shit went down. The car creeps along, keeping pace with me. The driver sighs. "Just get in the car." Far less aggressive. Oh my god, I can't believe this is working. I lean into the ditzy persona I have now adopted. I'd love to, really. I want to go so much, but my family's waiting for me up the street. But you guys are so nice. I hope you have such a good time. Next time for sure I'll go. You guys are super fun, right? Yeah, I can tell. The driver's posture is becoming less tense. His grip on the steering wheel is much more relaxed. And is that the beginning of a reluctant grin lifting on the side of his mouth? He likes flattery. Damn, girl, you might just be able to shit talk your way out of this one yet. You guys look super fun. A party with some cute, fun guys? I'm so there. Promise me you'll call. I stick my thumb and pinky to the side of my head and start nodding at them. You just have to call me, yeah? Passenger starts nodding back first and finally slumps back in his seat. Have so much fun though. Have extra fun for me. These fuckers seem to have forgotten that they don't know me from Adam and don't have my number. I wave at them, wait for them to be out of sight, and finally breathe a sigh of relief. I power walk the last few hundred meters home, go upstairs and tell Matt and Lisa what happened. Probably don't need to mention that living in that city was getting old. A few years ago, a new guy started at my husband's work at Crane Works. He introduced himself to him and they shook hands. My husband said that he was quiet and kept to himself most of the time. He always walked around, never doing much. He was just being observant, watching what everyone was doing. But my husband said he was nice when you talked to him. I just thought it was a little odd, but no alarm bells were going off quite yet. After a few weeks, he stopped coming in. A few days after he stopped coming, my husband got a text from his boss when we were leaving church with a previous mugshot of the man. His boss sent a group message to everyone at his job saying that they would be questioned by the police, but do not talk to the media. When we got to the car, we were looking him up to see what was going on. We saw that he was wanted for a mass shooting and was captured the next day after a manhunt. The man was Jeffrey Reinking, also known as the Waffle House Shooter. I was walking my dog in my neighborhood, and I noticed that a man wearing a black cap and a black mask was staring strangely at me for quite some time. For some reason, I felt a little uneasy with the way he was staring at me, and decide to speed walk away with my dog. When I think I'm safe, I notice that the same guy from before is approaching me. He tells me as he gets closer, "Hi, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Kevin and I would like to be your friend." At this point, I'm creeped out and frightened. I know that I should have immediately ran for the hills, but I was in shock and I couldn't move an inch. But my dog, who doesn't bark at strangers, he normally loves people he meets on the street, suddenly barked at him. The guy seemed to be a bit frightened by my dog, but he still stayed until my dog started to let out a series of barks. Thankfully, he finally left me alone, and I hightailed it out of there with my dog. I have no idea if I'm overthinking, but I can't help but feel like he had an ulterior motive. I'm a small girl, so I definitely would have been overpowered by him had he decided to actually do something. I don't know if it was a coincidence or not, but I'm extremely thankful to have my dog in my life. I don't know what I would have done if I didn't have him with me. I gave him extra belly scratches and an extra yummy dinner that night. Me and my friend, both 17, were on holiday at a resort in Norwich, which was situated in a large forest. I had been there once before about 5 or so years ago, and on that trip I discovered a small dirt path that led into an uninhabited part of the woods. I was too scared to go very far down it when I first discovered, and sort of forgot about it. Fast forward to about 3 days ago, and me and my friend are bored and have an hour of time to kill. It's about 9 at this point, and I decide that it would be fun to go on an evening cycle in the woods. My friend is a very skeptical and logical person who isn't a fan of taking risks, so she needed some convincing, but eventually we went. The path took us deep in the forest, so far that we could no longer see any of the lights from the houses around us. It also bordered some kind of field. However, this field was blocked off by a tall metal fence that was topped with barbed wire. We decided to turn back after about 30 minutes of cycling, because it was getting dark and we had no torches. When we returned, we were buzzing and decided we had to do that again, but next time explore more of the path. 2 days later, we decided it was a good time to explore the path further. The sun is beginning to set, and it seems like the perfect time to set off. We begin cycling. However, this time things feel different. My friend is getting quite antsy further down the path we go, and even I begin to get a bit freaked out. Something feels wrong, but we decide to carry on. Eventually we come to an unexplored area. By this point, night is falling and it's pitch black, and we come across some kind of wooden electricity box. We stare at it for a second. I try to see what's inside, but decide it's futile and we carry on. As soon as we pass that box, the off feeling becomes much worse, and I come to a stop. I ask my friend if we should play some music from a well-known TV show that we both like, as the soundtrack would match the vibe of biking through unknown woods at night. She says yes, so I begin trying to get the music up on Spotify. I had no signal, but that shouldn't have been an issue, since I had the album downloaded, but it just wouldn't load. I was very absorbed in trying to get it to work, but after a minute my friend says in a nervous voice, "Is that coming from your phone?" Confused, I go silent and then I hear it too. I can very faintly hear a song playing. The song is one that recently blew up because it was used in the TV show. And not only that, but the part that is playing is a chorus, which is not at the start of the song. Me and my friend both check our phones, but neither are playing anything. We both then book it on our bikes. When we reach the edge of the woods, we both feel the bad vibes wash away instantly. When we got home, we both immediately checked any possible way the music came from our phones. We both asked Siri to play the album, but she said, "I need you to give me access to Spotify." We also checked multiple other things, but nothing gave us an answer. We were both thoroughly freaked out, especially my friend who is a skeptic and always disproved that many ghost stories and horror movies I tell her about. We went back to the path the next day, and even went back to the exact spot, and the vibes were completely gone, and we could find no trace that any other person had been there. Thank you guys for watching and listening to the very end. Please make sure to leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe for future scary content. Email your stories to the email in the description box below. And until we meet again, stay sinful.